Earth 2020. Society is in ruins, and a virus runs rampant among the world's humble citizens. They are lost. In these dark times, three wayward nerds cross paths at the House of India and realize they are destined to be friends. And so they did. This is their story. The story of the Side Quest.
Welcome back to the Side Quest podcast. My name's Matt.
I'm BJ.
I'm Luke.
It's so good. I was so stoked today. It worked out well that I got off early, and I just was stoked to podcast today.
Yeah,
First of all, like and subscribe. I need to be doing this in the very beginning. I don't want to be like everybody, but subscribe. You don't have to fucking
subscribe. YouTube, Spotify, Apple Podcasts. Do it.
Dubby.
Just do it. Do it. Yeah, our sponsor Dubby. Use code TakeItSleazy at checkout for 15% off. Dubby.gg. Done. We're done with it.
Now you don't have to worry about that for the rest of the podcast.
Yeah, now we're back into it.
Now I don't have to worry about Matt trying to squeeze it in at the end and ruining my ticket sleazy.
Yeah.
Then there you go.
This is our first episode back from Lake Don Pedro with the boys and my lovely wife. And
is that girl a boy too?
So,
That's a Scott Pilgrim reference.
oh yeah. No.
there are some times where I feel like she's part of the boys, and then sometimes it works.
Sometimes where she's vehemently against the boys.
Yeah.
I think it's fair to be in her position to be fucking sick of us.
Yeah.
100%.
100%.
Absolutely.
And me egging it on when I know she is.
What?
Me egging it on when I know she is does not help.
Yeah, you got to be careful with that though. There were a couple times which I know we were all drinking, and I was like, BJ, be fucking careful. Like you're gonna. It's gonna be that thing where
It's gonna ruin Matt's night.
Where I'm gonna be like, I'm gonna have to keep talk to her and be like, he was joking, he doesn't mean it, and so and he's no, obviously my wife is my number one, ride or die. She's my wife, but I was like. So you're first, but then she's like, why are you it would be a thing where it's like, Peach, don't get this into a thing where I have to defend you.
Why are you laughing?
Do I have to defend you, but take her side? No, I would be sick of us too if I was her, 100% in certain situations. So, but yeah, it was great. We had a great time as he came out with us. Let's just kind of go through. Let's hit some of the bullet points. So the night before Luke came over, we had some za. You brought Moe's
pizza for the context of the rest of this story.
Yeah. That is a. Yeah, we have to say
true.
pizza.
That's true. Pizza.
Yeah, za is gonna be another thing.
We did have a shitload of za, but not this night.
Yeah, and so in the morning we dropped BJ's car off at the hotel, and we all went over to Casey's house, which was a last minute decision because Kyle was like, yeah, come to our house. And I was like, dope, I appreciate it. Thank you. Obviously, I'm in no position to be complaining about stuff, but I thought the plan was already set.
Yeah, we were talking about how we were going to Kyle's house and dropping off the car. Turns out Kyle just completely forgot about that. Didn't talk to his roommate.
He was like, yeah, have you talked to my roommate? And I was like, no, I thought you said it was cool. And so I talked to Cyrus, who's a really nice guy, great guy. And he was like, yeah, the garage, we've almost cleared out the parking spot. What day are you coming in? And I was like, it's today. And he was like, oh. And I was like, dude, do not worry about it. I'm going to talk to Casey. Casey was like, come on over. I'm working from home. And he was there, and he hung out with us for a bit.
Yeah, Casey's the homie.
No, Casey is the homie. He just let me park my car there. And then, you know what the best part about Casey, though? Was when I came back, he said, because I had left when I went to Avery's surprise party, I didn't know if I was going to be inside or outside, so I brought a pair of shorts just in case. And then I left my Berserk sweater. That's why I bought the sweater at Walmart, and a neck pillow, and I left it on top of my car. He had my shorts, my Berserk sweater, my neck pillow, and my keys all sitting in his garage. Like, he took care of all of it. He didn't forget anything. He had literally had it set aside for the next time he saw me. And it was all there, and he was like, yeah, like all your stuff that you even like from a month ago when I left it at him.
It's starting to feel like this is how we gauge good people. Because we left that microphone at MTech. Awesome Cast brought it back to us a year later.
That's true.
You left your shit on top of your car. Casey holds on to it for you.
Yeah. Yeah. And so we get to Casey's, get in the Uber, we get the thing, meet up with Ezra. All of you guys, thankfully, which
during all this, Matt and Carmen both had to stop the car twice because they both forgot something in the car, and then Carmen almost left her bag at the check-in.
No, Carmen didn't stop the car. I did for my sunglasses.
You did, but then Carmen forgot her bag at check-in, and someone had to grab it. Ezra.
Yeah, yeah. And then she almost left it getting into the Uber.
Yes.
So,
this is gonna be a running theme, by the way.
Yeah. You know, it's just we're all traveling. You got to deal with, like, you know, and me, here's the other thing. Is like, you know how I get when I'm, like, getting ready for a party where I just want everything to be ready, everything to be perfect. So the whole time I'm managing for, like, Luke, who hasn't traveled and been on the plane, like, trying to, like, just gauge everything, make sure everything goes well. Because, you know, I did plan this, you know, and so just making sure everything goes well. And, like, Ezra, just being the fucking joker that he is, was like, God, I've never seen Matt like so stressed before. And I was like, bruh, I just want to make sure everything goes smoothly. And once we like were in the Uber out of the airport, it was great. But what I realized about Spirit is, like, if you buy the tickets ahead of time, they're just gonna put you next to the other tickets you bought.
Yeah,
like you don't have to pay on your return flight. Were you all sitting together?
We
The
printed
first
the tickets out.
They said go to the gate to see your assignment, and we're like, oh, okay. And
But then they put us in the back corner, all in the same row. It was sweet.
Yeah. Okay. So, like, because they try to hit you with, like, pay $30 to select your seat, and I'm like, and I did that on the flight there because it was a non-stop to LA. On our way back, I was like, no, and it turned out we were just sitting together both times, and I was like, if Carmen and I just didn't do it, we would have had either a middle or an aisle in a mid or a window in the middle.
Yeah.
So it was a little bit waste of money there. So we fly out and get to our gate and everything.
I was gonna say first time flying that I remember.
Yeah,
because I was in first grade when I flew before.
Almost like the last maybe the last fifth of the flight.
Turbulence like a motherfucker.
Crazy turbulence.
Now, to be fair, I like to point out I was not freaking out nearly as much as I thought I would.
I was.
Hold on, I will say
Yeah.
that wasn't bad. That wasn't
like I was more so just
that's
like, all
pretty,
right.
That's like that would be like on a scale of 1 to 10. That's a 5. Like, I've been through some like dips where you drop like 100 feet and you feel your legs like go up for a second and shit flies
terrifying.
in. Like, that's rare, but like that shit can happen. Like, to be fair, like planes can get hit with lightning. They can get tossed around. They don't just like collapse mid-flight. It's always like you always see plane.
Yeah, because
it's crashes. It's crashes that you see. It's like
the aerodynamics of it make it to where that's not possible.
Yeah,
but
it's still uncomfortable. I'll give you that.
My thing is, ever since I started driving, I haven't really been riding in cars at all. So
I 100%. When I had ridden with, I think you in something, and I was on my phone for most of the ride, I was like, oh fuck, I think I'm getting car sick.
Yeah. So if I'm in the back of a car ever, I get pretty car sick, and then on the plane when we started hitting that turbulence, I got car sick.
Well, what was interesting,
or air sick or whatever you want to call it.
Turbulence usually is like, it's like kind of like this. The turbulence we did was whoa, whoa, whoa.
Yeah.
Like left to right, heavy. Like a lot of time, turbulence is like this because you catch things like this, and the wings are this way, and you don't like the signature of the plane is more horizontal than vertical, so you catch a lot more up and down movement with turbulence because of the wings. It's rare to catch left and right movement because the only left and right signatures that you have are on the ends of the wings. You have that, you have the rudder in the back, and then just the body of the plane. So left and right is, I'd say, the like more rare.
I will
say
this though, like I think the ride back was more stressful for me because I couldn't see out the window. We were on the very last row.
Oh, really?
Yeah, like the very end of the row. Like there was
and it was night.
Yeah, well, not even that. Like, to me, it was more so like the first flight, being able to look over.
So
and
what was
just
the
kinda
seating position?
Same exact.
Same
So me,
exact.
Ezra, BJ.
Okay.
BJ got the aisle seat. I had the plastic wall.
Did
seat.
you play anything or just try to go to sleep?
I tried to play Sonic and Shadow Generations, but I didn't know that apparently to boot up a game the first time you need an internet connection.
You could have paid $16.
I was tempted, and
Did you
even
really-
Ezra was like, no. And I'm like, fine. And then Ezra said, "Can I play?" And I said, "Sure." And he played Vampire Survivors for like 30 minutes.
On your
Yeah.
Steam Deck? That's
Yeah.
awesome.
He unlocked me a bunch of shit, so I was cool with it.
Yeah.
But I was like,
Yeah,
he was playing for a good
I
minute.
played on the airplane as well.
Yeah, it's
on the way back.
yeah. So there was a point where I was like, I'm gonna play that. I didn't play it because, but I played it later and it was good. We'll talk about that later after. The
I'm gonna
vacation.
go piss because when I picked up the beers and before BJ woke up, I already had like 3 beers. So.
All right. Well,
and,
we'll-
and a Coke Zero and a Gatorade on the way home.
When I was on the way to and from, like, I didn't play anything like I thought I was going to, but I did listen to like 3 audiobooks over the span of the week that we were there, so that was cool. If you're into like comedy horror shit, go listen to Tales of the Gas Station by Jack Townsend.
for the run up, I had just some like Mass Effect video essays that was like really cool. And it worked out that I watched them all. I was like, all right, we're about to land. I was like, all right, cool. But so that's what I ended up watching through most of it. And then I downloaded like late at night where I was like, I don't know, this seems cool. We didn't sit together, so we didn't end up watching Advent Children, but
Yeah.
or any of the movies that I think you downloaded.
Yeah, I didn't watch any of those movies, but to be fair, that's because the cabin has such a wealth of different movies to watch.
But yeah, it was the flight for a flight. It was not obviously as bad as I thought it was going to be.
And I will say,
but-
like, Spirit being cheap, it's not Frontier. I think Frontier's worse. I mean, like, Spirit, like, honestly, the biggest thing you're getting gypped on is obviously bags. Like, they charge extra, but for us, it was, for y'all, it wasn't really, like, you put everything in a backpack and it worked out well.
Yeah, we
Yep.
just had a personal bag and it was fine.
The other thing, though, is seats. You don't get reclining seats, and they're not really cushioned.
You mean other planes have like reclining and shit in them?
3 inches. I guarantee you. It's
That
like 3 or 4
would have been
inches.
fine though.
Some of them even have headrests that you can like move so that they like the back you can move so that it encompasses your head a little bit better.
My biggest thing was how close the seats were together, because my legs are pretty long. So,
It
like,
wouldn't be too much better on other airlines, I'll tell you that much, because it's still a 737, so it's the same size thing, but you get a little bit better cushions. Like, as long as you're in an aisle, like, I think you'll be okay.
yeah.
I mean,
But like the problem was the back of those Spirit seats had those like weird ridges coming out of the sides, and my left knee was just jammed into one of
Yeah.
those the whole time.
so you do get a little bit more space in other airlines where they'll like delete some like, because they'll have like in other airlines they'll have like a first class or a business class which have less seats and more room, so then it's not just like all economy of trying to fit in with Spirit, just trying to fit in as many.
How much would a business or first class ticket be in other flights? Like realistically, obviously
So-
you can find some on
So
sale.
if
like
we
we found some
flew Southwest, it'd probably be like $200 round trip,
for one person.
but you get 2 bags free on Southwest, checked bags,
So it can be like a suitcase.
2 suitcases
Okay.
per person, which is insane.
That's a lot.
For
I was gonna say if
so-
we were staying more than a week, I'd be like, let's do that, because then we could.
But
you
with
know
the
what I mean?
laundry, you did laundry like
I did once.
yeah,
That's
but
fine.
so did we, and
Well,
it was
like,
fine.
it would be fine, but I'm saying like if we were staying for longer and then like we had like a suitcase, like oh we're gonna bring some stuff back maybe, or like what, like if we were staying longer
If
than
we're
the
going to
week,
Japan, and
Yeah.
we need to bring an extra suitcase to
Like-
bring back Gundam models.
yeah, like we'll go like business or first or whatever the fuck, yeah, because
I'd be fine doing economy.
I for to Japan, fuck no,
Dude, do you
I
know
don't-
how much a business class to Japan costs?
I'll save up.
It's a fucking lot. Like
It's a
a
lot.
regular flight to Japan is
It's
over
like
2,000.
2,000,
Yeah.
and you're paying like $1,000 more.
I'll do it.
Okay.
I wonder how much.
Like
would be
I'm
to just-
okay. Like if I met with friends and stuff, like I don't care that my thighs are like resting against BJ's. Like the best part is like now we can both rest each other's thighs
Yeah,
next to each
then,
other.
Then you're gonna be okay, and it's not some person that's like,
Yeah. Like I can literally be like this with BJ. Come here. And I'd be okay with that.
Yeah.
The whole flight.
If it's somebody you know, you're fine.
Yeah, like that's fucking fine to me. Like that's the best part of flying with Carmen. Is like I don't have to worry about leaning or like putting my leg in hers and then she'll like cross my leg with so I get more leg room and then we'll do the cross legs like that and it's fine.
If we fly Spirit again, which I'm assuming we will next year.
I mean, I'd be fine looking at other airlines.
If we do that again, I will pay you the extra to bump me up to that big seat.
It's like $70.
That's fine.
The
more room, and I get to I'll be super fine, and it's a comfy ass seat.
Or just get in a emergency exit aisle.
Are those also?
Spirit was trying to charge people for that too because
Yeah.
no one had booked it.
Yeah.
On our return flight.
On our return flight, they were like, we will like the first person who comes to get a emergency exit seat can get it for free.
No, the whole time for us, they were like, it's only $25 more. Even when no one was taking it.
Really?
No
On
one was
ours,
taking it.
they had abandoned trying to get people to pay. But they were like, whoever comes up first gets it. And like 7 people got up and rushed.
No, they
And
didn't.
it was just and only one person got it.
They didn't get to to the point where they were like, it's free. They were just like, it's $20.
On our first flight, they were like, which was only to Las Vegas. This is coming back to our viewers.
Y'all had 2 flights? Oh.
Yeah. Again, yeah. It's the whole thing, but it's okay. We got through it. We got to go to Vegas, which was fun. I have a little bit of stories there. They were like, hey, we're overbooked by 3 people. If you want like a $400 travel voucher, and we'll put you on another flight. And they said it could be to like any airline, plus a $400 voucher. Which here's the thing that people don't realize: you can get up to like 10 times your ticket value.
Yeah.
That is like the legal thing that it's like, yeah, you can ask for that. But they start low and people just fucking sell out. They fucking sell out. Like make them like
Yeah, push them a little bit and you're gonna
yes, and you'll
much
get,
more
you'll
immediately.
get $800 worth of travel vouchers.
for these $81 tickets.
Yes.
They had.
Yes. Like just do that.
That's basically the whole trip next year for all of us.
Exactly. Just wait. Just wait a little bit.
I do have to say, on our return flight, we were sitting at the gate for a couple of hours. Ezra started simping for these 2 whores. And then we all get up to start getting on the plane. And we notice that there's this Asian man sitting at the gate. And everyone is in line to get on the plane. And he's asleep. And
he has an alarm going off.
We're standing directly in front of him. And his phone alarm is going off in his hand. And he's just like...
Did you wake him up?
We were standing there, and I was like, Luke, tap his shoulder. Tap his shoulder.
And I was
and
like,
then he was like, I'm not fucking touching that guy.
What?
And I was like, I'm not going to touch that guy.
Why?
Ezra, wake that guy up. And Ezra was like, no. So we got on the plane. I never saw him get on.
Why did you wake this poor guy?
I'm not even mentioning the other guy that we saw with the same exact situation.
There were 2 people asleep that we were like,
Why
they're not
did-
getting on the flight. Oh, that's crazy. And
Nobody else helped him either, okay?
That's Carmen's worst fear. And I'm always like, well, no, we'll be fine. Like, just take a nap.
I love the idea that you probably have told Carmen someone will wake you up, and then you have people like
No,
us who
I
are like,
never
no.
say that.
Here's
I
a
say,
first-hand
I say,
account of no
I
one
say
doing
I
that.
will wake you up and I will wake up. And she's always like, okay, I'm going to just take a little nap. Because we've had, we've flown so many times back to Cali that, like, we've had times where we've had to sleep at the airport for a layover. And so it's like 4 in the morning we get in, or like 3 in the morning, 2 in the morning, and the whole place is shut down, and then we find a place like underneath a desk to like set up shop to fall asleep. So we're like cuddling underneath like tables, which is, again, if you're at late at night, extremely normal to do. Like, this is just like, you just find somewhere to
Everybody's
sleep.
asleep at the airport.
Yeah, you just find somewhere to sleep. And then, like, we get woken up at, like, 5 in the morning by a cleaning crew on one of the sit-on-top vacuums.
Yep.
And you're like, God fucking damn it. You didn't have to go right next to me. And they're like, I'm just doing my job.
I think that's what those people live for.
Yeah, as they, like, Jaws slowly approach.
Yeah, they turn off the cleaner, and then they turn it on when they're right next to you.
Dude, and they're, like, just slowly coming. Yeah. So we get to LA.
And then all the anxiety kind of disappears.
Yeah, it was great.
We
We saw some famous midgets on the tram.
yeah.
Did you overhear their conversation? He was like, some guy recognized me from TikTok. as like mini Chi-Chi.
No,
You didn't, but you saw him though.
I saw them, but I didn't
Yeah.
hear that conversation.
Yeah, he was like some guy. He was like, I love your TikTok videos. He was like Mini Chi, I think was his TikTok name
Dude,
or
the
Instagram.
The picture we took on the tram between the airport and the Uber, that was a fire picture.
Yeah. Yeah, great pictures. And then we get to because LAX used to have just Ubers and Lyfts picked up at like the pickup section in the roundabout, and it was
Doesn't
insane.
work.
It was insane. So they're like, any Ubers and Lyft have to get trammed over to this random parking lot, which honestly, it's only like a 5-minute tram.
Yeah, it's not bad, and then getting in and out of there in an Uber is really good too.
I think it does make it easier because you have zones for pickups that you can pick from, all that kind of stuff.
Also, there's a billion stickers in that parking lot, but eagle-eyed viewers that go to LAX, you might be able to find a side quest sticker on one of those posts.
That's true. So we order an Uber, and the guy, he has like an SUV, like a normal like Honda like Pilot, and I messaged him. I was like, hey, we got 5 people, even though XL is supposedly 6.
Yeah,
And
he pulls up, and you can see that his passenger seat is flipped forward and pushed all the way up so that nobody sits with him. We watch. He pulls up. He touches his screen and he says, "Oh, it got canceled. I don't know why."
Yeah. He's
like,
like, I'm
we
so
saw you
sorry.
do it.
As he's like putting it into drive again, I'm so sorry. I don't know what happened. As he's creeping away, like, I'm sorry. I don't know what happened. I'm like, just cancel it
We
early.
watch you cancel it.
So then we get another Uber driver in a van, which I was like, yes,
Yeah, it was perfect.
that's what we need. Which honestly, I'd be fine renting. If
Yeah,
we
I
rented
mean,
a van,
Something like that would be awesome.
That would
a
be
Honda
awesome.
Odyssey.
yeah.
Odyssey San. But we
get picked up by this old guy who's like sitting like this and he gets it.
the guy that drove us back to the airport was old as shit too.
I thought it was the same guy. I was like, no fucking.
I wish
way.
it had been. He would have been a better driver.
Yeah.
Really, he was a
This
bad
old man was fucking crazy.
Okay, well, so we get to that, and he picks us up, and we go through the Malibu Hills. The best part about it, though,
Was going through Venice.
was going through. We took the one to all my California viewers. The one, everyone knows that, but to people who don't, the one is the freeway that goes all along the coast of California. It's called the PCH, the Pacific Crest Highway. And for my bachelor party, all I did was rent convertible sport cars, and we drove like almost 500 miles. Like, we drove like 2.5 hours up and 2.5 hours down.
For gamers, it looked exactly like the first level of Outrun.
No, of GTA.
Well, yeah, GTA 2. GTA 5, because we literally saw the Barbie house.
And we saw the house that that what's his name?
Lamar.
And
it's not TJ. Franklin. They steal
Lamar
the car
Franklin.
from.
We literally see the house. And I was like, that's the GTA house. And everyone, like Ezra, Luke, and VJ were like, oh shit, it actually is.
Yeah,
The thing
it
that
was
got me was as Ezra was like, I could have drove us around here. We'd be all right.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's
it was
true.
some Assassin's Creed 2 story shit.
Yeah.
I also, this doesn't matter to anyone except for me, but I saw the TRD body kit Celica on Venice, and I was like, let's go!
We did have a little side note. We did have a conversation which I didn't realize that you weren't really a car person. And then the other day you were like, if it wasn't for you and me watching Initial D, I wouldn't be excited about my own car. And I was like, oh my God, like,
Yeah, that's
I've changed you.
that you did. That's
Which is
exactly
wild.
how it happened.
Yeah, that's very interesting. And
'Cause
cool.
Before this, I was just like, just give me something I can just fucking drive.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, now you got a sick car. Honestly, and it sounds really good. I like hearing you pull out of the, because I can hear.
I like pulling out of stuff too,
Yeah. Some stuff.
except for vaginas.
Yeah. So, we take the PCH and it's great until we get to the Malibu Hills, which is windy as fuck.
It's perilous as shit too.
Yeah. And
I was like,
it's-
I didn't expect California to have these crazy ass roads.
yeah, it's a lot more hilly than you think. Yeah, California, it's
Because when they say the Malibu Hills, I'm like, oh, you're just gonna go up and down a little hill. No, it's a goddamn mountain.
yeah, no, for sure it is. So we got through that, and we finally get to Carmen's mom's house, pick up the Tahoe. And when we get there, I was like, great, the Tahoe's here. And I look in the back, and I don't see the third row seats. And I was like...
When you opened the lift gate, I was like, that's not good.
And so I casually say to her mom's boyfriend, hey, last time, like weren't there third row seats? And he was like, oh, yeah, we sold them like 3 months ago. And I was like... Oh, awesome.
Circus music starts playing
Yeah.
in your head.
So I was like, okay, well, we're gonna have to figure something out. To be fair, the Tahoe is spacious.
It is, but the funniest thing that happened the whole trip was seeing the conversation between you and Luke as a third party right after that happened. Because he went back into the house, and you come over to Luke, and you're like, hey, I want to pull down the street a little bit, and then you're going to jump in the back so they don't see it.
Yeah, because I mean, just how they are. Like, obviously, I'm so grateful that they let us use a car and stuff like that. And it's not just like, oh, I'm borrowing it for the day. It's like, I'm going to put on, like, a
Yeah, a
1,000 miles
fuckload of miles.
on this car that you use. And so it's like, obviously, I'm grateful.
We're very grateful because like it did help, and it was. And
I mean, we wouldn't have been able to do shit without that car.
Yeah. So I finally, Luke was like, I'll sit in the back. And I was like, all right, well, I'm going to get you a blanket and a pillow. And you're like, I'm good. I was like, no, I'm getting you a blanket and a pillow.
You did end up using at least a pillow.
I mean, yeah, the blanket and the pillow were just on top of each other, and I just used both of them as a pillow.
Great.
Yeah.
Great. I didn't know if you wanted to just like lay on the blanket to
No.
give it a little bit.
I mean, I
Anyway,
was just gonna throw my backpack over there
for
and
sure.
use that. Yeah.
I just was like, I'm gonna make sure he's comfortable because I appreciate you like taking one for the team. Which you said it wasn't like that bad. So Luke rode in the back.
I rode in the trunk with all the luggage. With 5 hours.
Okay, not all the luggage. It was
It was
like,
literally every bit of luggage except for your backpack.
Yes.
okay, so one bag and 3 other backpacks.
Yeah, but that suitcase is
it
pretty
was a
large.
giant suitcase, Ezra's big ass bag, and then mine and BJ's backpacks.
Yeah,
Okay.
Ezra's bag was basically a suitcase in its own. I
Yeah.
don't
It
know
was
how
a
they didn't.
miracle that he got it on because their whole thing is like,
It has to fit in this space.
I'm gonna make a little bit of money. I'm gonna make $5 by charging this guy.
You could tell-
$75 because his thing's oversized. Like they'll. When I went on Flown Frontier for Jake's bachelor party to Colorado, some dude had a normal sized backpack and they stopped him. Mine was bigger and they stopped them like it's too big and they charged him like $70.
That's fucking whack.
It's again.
But we get the car, we go to a dispensary, which changed the fate of the trip dramatically. And after that, one of the most fun moments of the whole trip was singing in the car with everybody. Simple and Clean, Ezra put it on, and the three of us in the back were just going ham.
Yeah, no, it was. We hit up the dispensary because we had to go pick up the keys to the cabin. And Ezra was like a kid in a candy shop. He was wilding out in there, and it was hilarious.
The snozberries taste like snozberries.
Yeah, and so we get out, and we head out, and by that time it's like 7, right?
Yeah,
It's like
7 or 8.
No, it wasn't 8. It was like
I mean, it was dark.
it was. I think it was around like 7:10 to like 7 to 7:15.
Yeah, it's somewhere in between 7 and 8.
And then we head out. We did get In and Out that Carmen's mom picked up for us.
Which was clutch and
Clutch.
the best fast food meal I've ever had in my entire life. Can't
And-
wait for that shit to come to Franklin.
Yeah, and so then we head out, and like Carmen was getting sleepy, and I was like, she was like, "Am I okay to fall asleep?" I was like, honestly, the boys are keeping me awake. We're singing and talking.
That was one of the best parts of the drive to the cabin was we were just playing jams, and like
Yeah.
the one that got us was
That is a
when
great feature that Spotify has. I
when-
never knew about that.
Yeah,
when Ezra-
because I was like, I'm not a like. I love my Tacoma with my CarPlay because I don't have to fucking touch shit. Because here's the other thing, it's a 2002, like 170,000 mile Tahoe, and that thing had needs and alignment so fucking bad, so bad. I was literally, my left hand was so sore from just
From
pulling,
holding it down.
from holding it down for 6 hours.
Yeah.
And so, you know, we keep trekking. We trek on.
the thing that got
And
me
then
though was Ezra. Like again, the best part was Ezra decided I'm gonna put on Simple and Clean. The most,
Yeah, no, that was helpful. It made me a little sad that nobody did. It wasn't as much on the drive back where I was like, okay, let me play some
I
music.
threw a couple in BJ.
You did, but it wasn't as much a takeover.
because I think we were all tired.
I mean, I understandably
Yeah.
so, but it was like hard because I'm trying to drive this wacky car and do that at the same time.
Yeah.
But to be fair, it was also a little bit easier because it wasn't dark, so it was like bright outside, so I could like see better out of my peripherals. So we get up as we're getting up there, we're taking some windy roads. We fill up on some gas, get some Red Bulls, and then we see some weird stuff.
See some cryptids, bro.
But before that, there's like 4 hours of after you get over the mountains out of LA, it's just a flat Minecraft map with 3 repeating establishments every like 20 miles. It was really fucking eerie.
Yeah, so that's like Bakersfield and like, yeah, it's the armpit of LA, of California. It's just like flat and boring. A lot of like,
It's like
farms.
there's a no man's land between.
Well, I mean, there's
Northern
like
California.
farms and stuff because it's like a basin because you're on the side of the mountain and like,
There's like a factory every now and again.
yeah, lots of factories.
I did like the train tracks next to the road and seeing the trains go. That was cool.
Yeah, and so we get up there and we see like a weird dog on the road. Because didn't you get in the front seat on the?
No, I was in the
no.
back the whole way for this one.
But you did see that weird dog that I.
Yeah, me and Ezra saw this weird cow cryptid thing that was like standing on 2 legs in this field next to the car, and we wouldn't shut up about it. We were like, what the fuck was that?
And I was like,
And then at one point, Ezra is looking down at his phone, and me and Matt see this shaggy ass, like skinny dog creature cross the road.
here's the crazy. I still don't know what it was.
I can't confirm it or deny anything, or even if
Yeah.
I saw a dog breed, I'd still be like, maybe not.
Yeah, like it. I can't 100% say that it was a dog.
But seeing that made me think of like the old trucker thing of like the black dog,
Yeah.
and I was like, oh fuck, we're gonna die.
So we finally get around to the cabin, or we get to the top, and we undo all the locks, and start to go down, and we get to the lake house, and it's like 2:10. It was like 2:10,
Yeah.
2:15, and none of us were like super tired. Carmen was. She went straight to bed.
I mean, getting there gave us a real burst of energy, I think.
Yeah, and so we stayed up till like 3, just like sitting on the porch, checking everything out. I mean, I still had Red Bull caffeine in my system, and yeah, went to bed. And then first day, kind of wake you Rochambeau with Ezra to like for the bed
To see who got the bedroom.
Yeah, and I mean, you were fine.
Yeah.
There wasn't any like
No,
resentment.
nobody
over that.
wanted the bunk bed, so I said, "Oh fuck it, I'll take it." I guess
That's right, but next year, Ezra's taking the fucking loft.
That's true. That's true. That's fair. That is fair.
You know, Ezra's gonna try to Rochambeau you again for it too.
Well, I'm gonna fucking smack him in the balls and take his weed away so that he has a nervous breakdown.
So, yeah, Ezra got a bunch of za, and the whole time he was like, "Oh my god, this is like really good."
Yeah.
And yeah, we get there and we have a great time. Was it the first night that we played Call of Cthulhu?
It wasn't the night that we got there, but the very next night, I was like, Call of Cthulhu, Call of Cthulhu, Call of Cthulhu. Because I felt like you were like, maybe people don't want to play this anymore. And then everybody else was being kind of passive about it. And I was like, no, we're fucking doing it right now.
I will say, though, which made me feel good, even though Ezra gave me mixed signals because he was too zod out a lot of the nights. And we'll probably circle back to this, but he was too zod out a lot of the nights to be an effective investigator. But almost every night after dinner, Ezra was like,
Are we going to play again?
yes. And I was like, where's this coming from?
See, I knew as soon as we did that first one, everybody would be all about it.
So we played, and I'll tell everyone the title. The title is Shadows Over Jamestown.
Shadows over Lake Don Pedro.
Or Jamestown.
you never said
changing it
Jamestown.
now?
Yeah,
It was
this,
Lake Don
this,
Pedro.
this is. I was gonna say this is the first time you said Jamestown.
Okay.
So
Shadows Over
Lake Don Pedro.
Don Pedro. And
Infinitely better title.
true. So Jamestown is the town that's right outside of the lake house. And
It's beautiful.
very
yeah,
nice town.
Yeah, and it's a little mine. It's just a very antique. They got antique buildings with antique shops.
I know. I made the meme about it.
DJ found some interesting memorabilia.
Yeah, he did.
Yeah, we
Love that photo. I showed Jake that photo yesterday, and we were cracked. It's such a funny photo.
one of the, just to bring up what he's talking about, one of the antique stores just had like a case of Nazi memorabilia.
Yeah,
Yeah,
some
like-
SS stuff, a Hitler Youth knife, some flag, and then a picture of Hitler.
What made that way funnier is if it was signed.
Well, the other thing that was really
Like-
fucking funny though is outside of the case, the cabinet, and the glass case is on the wall was just a Confederate flag. It was just like, this is the corner if you want to be racist.
I like to call it Hitler's Nook.
The Hitler Nook was an interesting one.
And so I took a picture of BJ when he's holding his ice cream cone.
Yeah, I was eating an ice cream cone.
Because obviously that's not what you're drawn to first, but that's my favorite part of the picture is you with your finger up, and then in the lowest part of the picture you see a little cone, like
Yeah,
a little kid getting his
Hitlerfest
picture taken.
2024.
So we ran the campaign and we got 4 investigators. Carmen's was Lily Rose. She was a farmer. We have
Brother Ezekiel,
a missionary.
Originally missionary turned preacher, because we thought that was way
because your
better.
character is just Jesse Custer.
Yeah,
Who's Jesse Custer?
From Preacher.
From Preacher. He's the preacher in Preacher. It's a
It's
really
a
good
AMC
comic.
show.
It's a really fucking good comic that the AMC show did one really good season of, and then they fucked it.
Okay.
He's a preacher, but he has like a dark, like he was a thief, like he sold drugs, kind of shit. Like he's a badass of a preacher, but he goes back to his hometown because his dad was a preacher and he died, and he comes to take it over. And you know, he's trying to like be better and teach his community. Anyway, that's what Luke's character is. I am Margaret Mickelson. She's a 65-year-old ex-miner / engineer
/ thirsty as fuck.
And then we have
Matt made all the characters thick and hot, and he made one Velma specifically to spite me.
You know, to be fair, I didn't have.
Well, to be fair,
Okay, kudos to me for coming up with a bunch of stuff on spot. Like, I have a great outline, but to be fair, also, I was like, I made a whole campaign.
How badly
and
did we
only
fuck
got
up?
like a fourth of the way
I mean,
through.
you're a way better DM than I am.
I appreciate that, but I really fucking enjoy playing with you as the DM, especially Cyberpunk with all the Easter eggs. So, like, I need you to hear that you know how much Luke and I loved our Cyberpunk campaign.
Yeah.
So, just hear that.
I'm kind of thinking, like, maybe fuck D&D.
I'd be fine to run D&D if you want to switch out.
No, I mean, go back to Cyberpunk.
Like, do Cyberpunk again, like, fuck D&D, go back to Cyberpunk.
Okay, that's fine.
Yeah.
I'm down.
I'm not enjoying D&D as much as I thought I would.
Okay. I think I enjoy DMing.
I mean, you were very good at it.
I'm down to do
So then
whatever.
we have Ezra's character.
I'd be down, like, if you want to do D&D, Vampire, Call of Cthulhu, Cyberpunk, whatever, like, I'm just like, I just want to enjoy the fucking thing.
Here's the problem, is I want to do a game system in its fullness.
Yeah.
That's the problem. And not saying that we didn't technically in Cyberpunk because we just kind of rolled through combat. I liked playing systems in their completeness. And I don't want to hold people accountable to that, even though actually I will give you the pass with Cyberpunk. Cyberpunk was just like, I don't give a fuck. We're just role playing.
I mean, when you have guns, distance doesn't really matter at all.
True. And we did do, other than distance, there was just the only thing which was like, there is in Cyberpunk, like, it's essentially like in D&D where it's like roll to hit. Mm-hmm. And there is that with guns, but it has to do with like distance and like firepower, like your like gun proficiencies and stuff like that. And it's complicated, and I was like, I don't care to learn this.
I would
as a player.
I would much rather do the aim shot system that we were doing, where it's like roll to see what you hit, and then if the damage goes over their AC, then you actually get it.
Yeah, there is a little bit more beefiness to that compared to Call of Cthulhu.
Yeah.
So,
trust me, there definitely are.
Ezra's character is Dr. Calvin Little, and and so those were the characters. And I mean, like y'all roll through kind of like, I mean, we can get through, because let's talk about the campaign.
I mean,
I want to hear. I mean, we talked about it almost nightly, but like, I really want to hear a breakdown, like from a retrospective.
It was definitely really fun to kind of, because like we figured out, like my character is originally gonna be like some southern kind of farm boy vibe of like, oh, you know, he's just gonna be good, you know, like we went lawful good. Like I was like, he's gonna be a good guy, very much about.
Well, that's not what we talked about. Is you were like, I want to be like a trope of a preacher that's like a little bit not racist, like a little bit like impeding my religion on people and like kind of comical. And I was like,
that was the original bit.
I was like, don't do that.
Yeah.
Like play into like a guy that wants to do good with a dark backstory.
And
like play into that because
that goes so hard.
It does go so much. Like, and it was like, I don't need you to like.
Well, immediately whenever we talked about it, that's exactly what I decided to go for when I shoved Ezra against the wall and was like, "What the fuck did you just do?"
I think that came from me and you figuring out your stats. And me being like, it would be really funny and awesome if you had intimidation.
Yeah, dude.
Well, like, because I think that like, I don't think like, unless you've been playing for a long time, and even when that it like, and I hate to, as amateurs, compare to Critical Role, but I do think for like, the comparison I'm making is for people that do it for a living.
Versus like
obviously they're going to take it seriously because it's their job. It's not, you know, you don't see full like people that are like actors.
We're not going to have people flaming us if we do something incorrectly.
True, but what I'm trying to say is that like unless you've been playing for years and years with the same group of friends and then you're just going to make a joke character, you can, but I don't see the point of like that. Like, why not just play characters to their fullest and have it be serious?
I think it's way more fun when you make a compelling character that's interesting to you, because then you're way more invested in what they do.
Like, okay, sure, there's a good joke characters, but leave that up to the DM to make joke NPCs instead of you being like dickus biggus. And then just
the best thing is when a sincere character makes a joke that fits with their character.
Sure, but yeah,
like when
so
Margaret says,
when
like
Luke started playing his character and I was started talking, I was like, no, like let's like don't like actually be like a good guy that in your mind you're like wanting to like spread the word of God by like being kind and helpful. Because what I'm thinking is like you're gonna encounter some dark shit and you're gonna have to like deal with some inner turmoil of like your like own questioning, like how can shit be so fucked, and me trying to like again
a good campaign has external conflict and internal conflict.
Yes, so I was like, Luke, we're gonna do that. So we had that little sidebar, and I was really glad we did, because I'd hate for your character's like personality just to be a joke.
Well, the way that I was originally going to do was like, oh, it's funny now until shit goes down, then it's not so funny anymore. Because I was never going to just do joke character. It was going to be like, well, this is funny when we're in lighthearted moments. But then shit's going to go down. It's like, well, yeah, how crazy is my character going to start becoming? Where it's like, oh, fuck. Like, because now it's like, that was where I was going to go with it. But I liked more the idea of like, yeah, when he was basically like, you're just preacher now. And I was like, I like that way better.
Yeah.
I like that one way better.
So keep on talking. I can interject about
it started was all of our characters are arriving at the last call, which is the cabin that we were staying in, which made the whole thing have a way more spooky vibe.
And Ezra didn't figure that out till what, session 2?
Yeah, like session 2 or 3. He was like,
3.
"Oh, it's here."
It was session 3, I think.
And I was like, "How do you not fuck it?" We've been saying the whole time, like, "Oh, I'm over there by the stove. I'm upstairs in Matt and Carmen's bedroom."
And he's like, "Yeah, that's pretty much how I think when it hit me that he's fucking high.
Yeah,
like he is fucked.
Yeah."
And I was like, yeah, that's it. And
he did tell me how much he enjoyed it, which is fine. I mean, if you again, it's vacation. If you just want to like be at the lake house and just be zawed out, that's fine. Like, he didn't like.
He didn't do anything like bad.
Again, I mean, we said this. I wish there was more engagement. But to be fair,
we also
for the rest of the trip, it was great having him there.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he had the little jukebox. We were playing good music.
Being on that lake on the kayaks was the most peaceful kayaking experience
I
ever.
would like to be able to get Mike, if I could be like, hey, when we get down there, like I'm going to service one of those ATVs or the 4x4 so that we can just go down there every day, because that's what I did last time. Was we were on the lake every day and it was dope. Even if we're just sitting in the middle of it, it's dope being on the lake.
Because my thing is like walking down that hill. It's a very
down the hill
steep.
is fine.
Yeah,
but
but
the uphill bit,
going down and then going up is like playing Death Stranding when you don't have a vehicle.
No, it's rough. I'll give you that.
And I'm fat, and I have issues.
So, but I want that. Like the next time we go out is being on the lake every day.
That would be sweet.
Because we did a pretty good job. To be fair, we did go through food a lot faster than I thought we would.
The fucking cereal, dude. We just need to stock up on that shit next time.
Like almost like a carton a night.
Yeah.
Like maybe like 80% of a carton a night. So if we
crazy.
just do that, we'll be okay. Because the rest was actually okay. It was only the issue was that the chicken that we bought from Walmart, we were going to buy from Walmart, was stinky.
Yeah.
And so we didn't have one night's worth of food. The rest of the nights, we literally had everything. We had enough.
We had enough to make burgers twice.
We had enough to make sandwiches. That was never an issue.
Yeah. The sandwiches we nailed perfectly.
Yeah, that was great. Everything was great. Maybe an extra carton of eggs.
Yeah.
But to be fair, with how we were waking up, it was like
Basically lunch.
We're just gonna do
Yeah,
lunch.
might as well just make a sandwich.
Yeah, yeah. So maybe a little bit more eggs, or like a little bit more sandwich meat. But other than that, everything was perfectly. Other than the cereal, everything was portioned out.
To be fair, that was
The
fucked
problem
for
with
us.
cereal is we would start playing Call of Cthulhu, and then I would be sitting right next to Ezra the whole time, so I'd be like, let me get a little bit high. And then I'd get a little high, and then I'd be like, I fucking need cereal. I need cereal right fucking now. And I would get up, and I would get the cereal, and then Ezra would see me get the cereal.
And then to be fair, all of your high acids would be like, I'm gonna have and you just you keep pouring into the bowl, and I'd be like, that's a massive bowl of goddamn cereal.
Well, I'm not gonna get a half a bowl of cereal.
Yeah, no, the bowl is shaped for a reason. I'm gonna fill the bowl.
You know this. You put the cereal in up to the top, and then you squish it
That's
down with your hands.
crazy.
No, he's correct.
You're
he's
fucking
100%
lying.
correct.
I've seen you do this, and you told me that it was the best way before you even knew I did it. You fill the cereal up to the top.
I think I only had 2 bowls of cereal. The entire.
I'm not even talking about the trip. I'm talking about months ago when I saw you eat cereal for the first time, and you were like, "The way you're supposed to do it."
That's so weird that we talked about. No, but no, because no. Hold on, fuck you. I know this conversation. You were like, I hold the cereal down as I fill it up with milk, and I was like, that's crazy.
No, that's objectively
No,
correct.
because that's exactly what you did.
No, because I think I tried your way. Because anyways.
Look,
hold
he's
on.
objectively correct. No, he's objectively correct. That's the way you do it.
Okay,
you fill
sure.
it to the brim and then hold it down, pour this milk in.
If it's
so you get
good
the
enough
most
for
amount.
Kendrick, it's good enough for me.
Okay,
Exactly.
That's fine. I barely touched the cereal. But anyways, we went through cereal like fucking crazy.
I think I bought 3 boxes of Crave. You got a giant box of
I
Frosted
got the
Flakes.
family size of Frosted Flakes, and then we eventually just switched to Lucky Charms.
No.
Then we got
what were they called? The fucking
Marshmallow Mateys.
Marshmallow Mateys.
and then we got 2 bags of that.
yeah.
Yeah, well, we got one bag, and then we were like, fuck, it's already gone.
And then we went to Jamestown the next day and got an extra bag.
So next time when we grocery shop, we got to make sure we have a fuck ton of cereal.
Yeah, we'll just get the generic bags again because those do have more and they're cheaper.
Yeah.
And then we'll probably get like two kinds so that people can pick and choose.
I might still buy me a box of Crave just because that shit goes kind of crazy for me.
I want Captain Crunch or Cinnamon Toast Crunch.
We all of our characters get to the cabin. We all do our little introductions.
I'm so glad we're podcasting. It's so fun to reminisce about this, and it'll make
Also,
next time we go up.
I need
so
I
much
need to
sweeter.
make a big fuck you to Carmen because the first big roll she makes for a listening roll is a prayer I have to do.
Yeah,
before
and then
bed.
Luke has to make up a prayer.
On the spot.
I was about to help Luke. I was like, I'll tell you what prayer he has.
No,
like, if you're uncomfortable.
I was literally like, well,
Even though it's like, to be fair, like you could come up with something. But
I know,
like,
and I did. I just off the top, I was like, okay, fine. But like,
I was like,
originally,
he says that he's like really like praying for everybody here, and he loves Jesus. And I was like, because at night I was like, I mean, here's the other thing. It's like, I mean, like I'm not gonna be dishonest to who I am here on the podcast for the most part. You know, like, I mean, like we don't get political on the podcast,
Yeah.
and honestly, I'm also not a political person. But like, you know, like I love God. Like I'm a Christian. I have my own like gripes with the church. You know, I have my own gripes.
Yeah.
I have my own personal.
Have you seen the new Catholic Church mascot, the little anime girl?
No,
It's official.
I
That's
did.
awesome.
It's so funny.
but
She looks
you know,
like
it's like
Coraline.
there's things in my life that like again I have reasons for what I believe, and I have also my own trauma with things I've experienced. So it's like I have my own personal journey. But when I was up there, like I wanted to be praying at the meals because that's what I normally do. But also I was really grateful to have everyone there and be safe. Like I think it's a miracle that the car did not have a single thing go wrong with it.
And the one thing that we almost had a problem with was the coolant, but we're like,
well, the other thing is I got distracted trying to get music in as we were leaving Carmen's house and almost got in an accident.
Yeah, we
because the brakes fucking interstate sucked on that car, and I was heading, and thankfully I looked over in the side mirror, looked over, and there was no cars there, and I went, whoo, and just went
but
around.
You would have noticed if me and Ezra hadn't have been like, we're gonna die.
Yeah, 100%. 100%. So, like, anyways, I'll say on the podcast, like, I'm really thankful that we all were up there. I appreciate, that God has put us all in each other's lives. Like, I can say that. But at the same time, I was like, I don't know. Anyways, I'm just appreciative. It was just such a fucking good time. I've now had like a bunch of beers in me, so I'm all like, I appreciate all of you. But I really did. It was such a great time, and I do love both of you. And
I love that you immediately also threw me under the bus. He goes, yeah, when Lou gets drunk, he never says I love you. He says I appreciate it. And then Ezra,
first day.
Okay. And not like our entire friendship. We just dog on each other.
Hold on, no. I find it funny because Ezra immediately when you say no, why not just say I love you? Ezra goes, that's kind of gay. Immediately jumping to my defense slightly, but then immediately turning around going, yeah, but like you just appreciate them. Like he played both sides.
It's so funny.
Ezra's just a fucking ball buster, dude.
Yeah, he is, because he'll say something after I go like say something weird, and he'll be like, dude, that's gay, and I was like, and I go, it's Zesty Saturday. He goes, you're right. No, I feel that. I'm like, why did you even say that? He's like, I'm just trying to bust your balls, like. I was like, Ezra, I know, you be getting zesty with me on Saturday, and he goes, yeah, that's true.
On the way back, we left out on a Friday, and we were sitting in the airport, and I was like, it's T-minus 20 till Saturday. And Ezra was like, Yeah,
Ezra lives.
No, what was funny
for zesty Saturdays, but then shames you
if it's not Saturday.
But then I go like. I said, like, I know once Saturday comes, you're going to be zesty as hell, boy. And he goes, yeah, you're right.
No, well, dude, what was the bit? We were like, Saturday's going to start when we're on this flight, trapped in an enclosed space for 4 hours.
Ezra was like getting hot and sweaty in the tight space with my boys.
No, I'm glad he came.
That was the one, like,
he came all right on Saturday.
But so our characters got to the last call. Carmen rolled really well to make me pray.
Anything to happen.
Yeah.
It is crazy and funny and ironic that Carmen always rolled high for listen.
Well, she also has crazy. She rolled incredibly well, and I was like,
yeah. Matt was making her character, and he was just like, you have to be cheating. You have to be cheating.
I just was like,
okay, I kept watching.
It's hard to like.
I kept watching.
I'm not trying to railroad this, but like. The whole point is like
mystery and like
the whole point is mystery. You're not figuring stuff out unless like you get a good
make a breakthrough.
Yeah, you make a good roll or like, and it's like I can't just every second be like, oh, I listened to this random conversation. I'm like, okay, fuck, I got to come up with something. Yeah. But I came up with so much shit. Like again, I had character descriptions for a lot of people. I mean, I can tell you
some characters you made up on the spot.
Mr. White.
Which was good. He's actually a really good character, and if you want to do this dual campaign thing, I think Mr. White is a good element to bring
you don't understand
back.
how much Mr. White has now dual campaign. I have Mr. a lot of colors now.
What was Irene or any of the like?
So Irene was very much planned for. Okay. I didn't. Here's the thing. I had been debating.
Can I have my coffee black? You want cream and sugar with that? White.
I was debating.
Such a good
I already
line.
had Irene as the owner of the speakeasy. I didn't know how to
integrate her
into the campaign.
But then having her give out a job.
It feels so natural the way you did it. I thought that was planned.
I didn't. I was like, all right, fuck it. Because I thought before like it would make sense like it's underneath the town hall where she works during the day and at night, and she's connected with everything.
She kind of comes off. I mean, the way you wrote
and
her,
I was like, it makes sense, but I was like, to me, it felt a little bit forced to be like, oh, you meet this person, and then this is the other big thing. But I was like, no, it works that she's works at town hall and is connected with everyone's like secrets and business.
Like the way that I view it is like Irene is running this whole town from the shadows. She's in the mayor's ear. Like everything she
Yeah.
needs done gets done because she is in
Yeah.
this position.
No, so it worked out well, but that I didn't have. The Doctor, Samuel Oak, which at first I did have as Samuel Blackwood, and I was like, no, I'm not gonna have him be your last name. And I was like, but I did have, because I was wanting to integrate it a little bit with our cyberpunk, so that's why the mayor's name is Caldwell. I was like, I'm not gonna add Alofa's last name, and everyone else didn't really like. I do. There is like
because Alofa doesn't have a last name that you know of.
or
I
like
just
it's some Pacific
It's some
Islander.
Maori shit.
Yeah, some Maori shit. And then
I just love that you called
there
him
is a
Samuel Oak,
Jimenez.
and I'm like, isn't that just Professor Oak's name?
Yeah.
Yeah.
the like I wanted to add like a Jimenez from
Cyberpunk.
and I couldn't add just because I wanted to be true to
The Cyberpunk canon.
and also Jamestown canon, which is weird, but I did want to be true to it.
Mm-hmm.
So I was like, I don't want to add Japanese names from our Cyberpunk campaign into
But that's fucking cool.
to a Chinese literal
You
Chinese people.
You did add a Chinese person though that I am very fond of.
Yeah,
Officer Jack Chan.
yeah. His actual, I won't tell you. You'll have to find out for yourself. His Chinese name, but his American name, because that's a very
Real thing. Yeah.
yeah. Very. I grew up with a bunch of like Chinese people in high school, and they all had American names, and then they're Chinese.
I mean that's true for a lot of Asian countries
Yeah,
as
yeah,
well.
100%. So his name was Jack Chan, and
It was funny because when you were like, "There's an Asian officer that pulls up," and I was like, "Is he Jackie Chan or not?"
And immediately Matt was like,
I did this face.
He was like, "His name is Jack Chan."
"Be just like yes."
I was like, "Yes, let's fucking go."
Yeah.
He's the Thunderbolt.
So I came up with Mr. White. A lot of obviously like when you did the midnight, the late night. How did you like that mission?
The
The mission
boat
that
thing?
Irene gave you.
The boat mission.
Oh, I loved it.
Really?
The anglerfish was so fucking cool because I love that imagery of like an eldritch like fish kind of thing, and especially an anglerfish that's already kind of that form. That was really creative.
Okay, yeah. So I knew I was gonna have her give you a job, and I had to integrate it with with some other stuff. I'm not gonna give details. Again, well, Ezra's not gonna be in the campaign anymore. He's gonna be in my other campaign, which is already 3 people. So Ezra, Berger, and Lee.
Oh, so they're doing the other side.
So
So,
the
They're either
doctor's
gonna
gonna-
be in Yosemite or SFO, San Francisco.
So
Because
Ez-
those are both about 2 hours either way.
Ezra's leaving our campaign to go there.
Because he
Yeah.
Tuesday nights he has WoW raids.
yeah.
And I just would rather just do.
As long as there's a
D-
lore reason for him leaving, I think that's cool.
Oh, I already have one.
Okay.
I
Tight.
came up with one. It's actually I mean, for his character, it's
It's great.
so fucking great. Especially
We just might have to introduce a healing NPC now.
Carmen does have medicine,
Carmen has a pretty good medicine.
but she doesn't have first aid.
I think I have a decent first aid. I have to look at my shit, but
I could put it in an NPC, or I don't, and just keep it Call of Cthulhu and be fucking brutal.
I mean, we could also.
If that's the case, then Margaret's just going to be on a kick of finding the next town doctor now that they're both gone. Speaking of which, fuck you. Killed my dog.
Okay, that was one of the first things I had planned.
What? Okay. What would you? What,
Ask me questions. I am
I-
so glad we're podcasting.
Hold on.
I'm so glad.
I know for a fact you didn't plan on me bonding with the dog at all. You just wanted to introduce the dog was in the
100%,
town.
100%.
Okay, question on that. Would if we had passed every check and there wasn't an option for him to get, would you have just
I
found a
remember
way
the
to do
check
it?
where everything went wrong, and it was a perception check for Ezra because he was the only one with the dog on the boat, and he failed.
I would have let you with a persuasion check let the dog stay on the thing, but I also would have had the monster come earlier because I would have had the dog start barking.
Yeah.
So like there's I literally had that planned out. I was like, if he brings that fucking dog, that dog's gonna start barking at some shit because it can sense something because it's been around.
Well, that's
town.
why I always wanted to bring the dog with me.
So, if how would you have gotten it? Like while we were all asleep, type shit of the dog's missing, or would you?
Okay,
like
I will tell you
because that's the thing.
I will tell you. So I'll let
Yeah.
you in because. So which happened first? The mission, or was it Sam? When you took Sam Oak, that was
after. Mission was first because
mission,
you told Ezra to roll while he was back at the thing.
Because we heard about Sam on the mission.
Yeah.
And then I went back to find Sam at the bar.
Okay.
But so the mission was first.
So I rolled. You rolled. You were
Dr.
making
Abernathy.
a lot of noise in town about demonic shit.
Yeah.
I was like,
okay, I made noise once.
No, everybody, the team
Yeah,
of
okay.
investigators has been
You looked
making
directly at me when you said
waves in the community about like shady shit going on.
I mean, in a small town, 4 new people show up.
Which caught the attention of
a cult.
Of a cult, and with Ezra repeatedly going to this doctor and like putting off meetings on him, which again is fine. That's great role playing. There's just everything has a butterfly effect, and so mine was all right. The cult's gonna fucking like somebody's gonna fuck up Dr. Abernathy's lab, and I rolled for Irene to survive. She did not survive.
Yep. Those are the best rolls to make.
And I was like, okay, all right, Irene doesn't survive. And I was like, they're on the fucking docks. And Dr. Abernathy has been experimenting. Actually, to be fair, I did the
You did fleece that out before because Abernathy had the rats that he was experimenting with.
Yes,
and Calvin did nothing about that.
Yeah.
And
so,
I was like,
and then I was like, I knew that the dog was going to be a part of it. So that's why I was like, and I already planned, again, my map was like pretty good of like his office is on the other side of the docks and he has a little thing so he can take in like shipments in from the docks. And so he grabbed the dog. So that was, again, the plan was for a chimera. I didn't know who the other NPC was going to be that he was going to be melded with. But the plan was, I'm going to make, what's the Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood?
Nina.
I was going to make a Nina. No matter what.
Fuck you for that.
Wasn't that so good, though?
It was, and I wish that Ezra hadn't killed it right away. Because I was about to lay down some fucking theater with that goddamn wand. The thing is,
I think that played out exactly how it should have been.
I agree, but I wanted a moment that I didn't get, but that's fine. The thing is, Dr. Abernathy, there's like this black goop that is like infecting things and turning them into eldritch monsters. And Abernathy uses it to create a Nina from Full Metal Alchemist, which is a girl and a dog. And the dog I had found on the first day that we were in town.
Named it Nugget.
Was feeding it. It was following me around, being a good boy. And he used my dog to fuse with his assistant, who he was also in love with. And this wand has this like power of suggestion over these creatures. And he was able to suggest to it because he was in love with the girl that was the girl half of the dog. And I was like, if I get the wand, I'll be
there's a little bit of a love interest between the doctor, the crazy doctor, and her and his assistant, who was just into like town gossip and like reading tabloids.
So I was like,
that wasn't, I wish I played that out more, was able to play that out more so you could understand their like secret love interest with each other of being like, oh, doctor, like kind of thing.
Yeah.
But I was like, I wasn't able to, so I'm just gonna like, this is just what it is. But they were like definitely like in love with each other. It was like kind of like unrequited love where like she was in love with him, he was in love with her, but
he was in love with his work kind of thing.
Yeah, and he's old. Yeah, she was in love with him. So yeah, he was in love with his work. He didn't really get it and understand her, and he just was like, I just need somebody to maintain the front of house. So yeah, that was fun.
Yeah. And then the best part of the whole campaign for me, I think, was the single person interrogations.
That was so much fun.
That scared the shit out of me. I want you
That
to know.
was so much fun.
I
was ready to fuck you over if I could find like a gap in everything. I was so ready to. I was like, all right, we're doing this. But I also was like, I'm going to pull people aside and give them time to like formulate plans. And
The one that scared me-
I actually really liked Ezra's. He was like, I'm not talking to without a fucking lawyer. Which, if you know his backstory, it actually makes a lot of sense. And I was like, nope, makes sense.
With what you know about Ezra's backstory,
Everything.
was he playing like relatively well into that character, even with being kind of high and kind of whatever? Because that was my thing. Is I was
yes,
like,
it was
I was like,
more,
how much
it was
of it
more
was
just conversational shit. Like everything that he needed to check was like he like did checks for, which was like for medicine, and but just more conversational that we missed out from Ezra. But everything else was in character for him. He has a great backstory, really fun. I could probably reveal it to you once he switches out.
Yeah. Maybe we find his journal at the last call or something that he left behind.
I'm fine with that. But I'm not gonna tell you now.
Yeah,
that's the.
But no, the thing with those things, the one that got me was when you pulled BJ first, which I
think you knew that I would come up with a foolproof plan.
Well, no, the thing is, I'll tell you right now, that's what saved us. If you had pulled anybody else first, we're fucked. Because you pulled BJ first, and then when you grabbed...
I'll tell you, though, you know who almost fucked you, though?
Is Carmen.
It was Carmen.
Well, that's the thing.
Carmen almost fucked you. Because BJ told almost, like...
the truth.
90% truth. And then Carmen says, and then I like, passed out, and I don't know much of anything. And I was like...
But
if they don't say, if the other players don't say that you passed out and got like hurt and tell like concrete details of when you passed out, you're fucked.
It was unintentionally good on my part for being separated for a lot of the first couple days, because I was able to speak in like, we, not naming specific members of the group. Like, we stabilized the guy, we got him inside. Like, I didn't mention Carmen specifically, I don't think, at one point at all.
Nope, that saved you.
And there were points where you were asking me questions, and I was like, I wasn't there for that.
That was so much fun. I can't wait to do that for, like, other campaigns and bringing people, essentially, in Discord, like, bringing them down a channel and being like, just tell me what happened.
The thing that got me was...
I can't wait for that.
So, what you didn't see at the table, because you pulled BJ...
please.
Me, Carmen, and Ezra, I'm like, we're fucked. Ezra immediately was like, I'm just going to say I need a lawyer. And I was like, okay, that works.
To be fair, that is a legal plea that I know would work. And be like, okay.
Yeah. They can't get shit out of you.
And the thing is, I turned to Carmen...
I would have fucked you over if everyone did it, and I would have been like... All right, like,
we're gonna get a lawyer.
All right, time to fucking put you all in jail and then we're gonna call some like public defenders. For you. So and there's like anybody unless you it would have fucked you over. But one person doing it, and for Ezra's character, it was great.
The thing is immediately
because I sat him down and I was like, I role played it with him and I was like, so what are they? And he's like, I'm not fucking talking. I imagined
it like
because he sat down in the chair in his room when he did it, and I was like, "This is so good."
That episode of Better Call Saul where they arrest Mike, and Mike is just sitting in the interrogation room, and he just keeps going, "Lawyer," and then they give him this whole spiel, and he just goes, "Lawyer."
So while you were gone with BJ, we're doing that. I turned to Carmen, and Carmen immediately was like, "We have to lie." And I'm like,
I also used this opportunity to gain some brownie points with Jack because I love Jack because he's Jackie Chan.
So immediately I'm like, well, no, we like, you know, I was telling Carmen.
You love him now.
What do you mean? Oh no.
So Carmen originally, I forget when she had said it, but we're freaking out because like we're like, what is BJ gonna say? We don't know. And Carmen, after pretty much as we hear you coming, she goes, I was unconscious. It's fine. And then she goes, and I'm like, we're fucked. We're absolutely fucked. We're caked. We're good. And when
Carmen was fine. Again, Carmen did great. It was just other people needed to back up her story.
When BJ said, I told the fucking truth.
I came back and I was like, I told him fucking everything. However,
that's what I was trying to get out of everyone was about the gunshot. Because that, I was like, he shot a fucking gun out of nowhere. And I was like, all right, well, Mike's gonna definitely like. I was like, do you leave the cabin right away? And you're like, yeah, we leave right away. And I was like, well, Mike's getting up at this current second to go check out and I was like, and then I did some private rolls, and I was like, Mike got fucked up.
Yeah.
Mike
was on the verge of death.
Fucked up in this battle with this random dude, because immediately in my head I was like, he sees a guy tied down, he immediately knows who it is, unties him, and then the guy fucking beats the fuck out of him.
So
I thought my lie for that was really ingenious, having the twin pistol set, because I know plenty of old like Western guns that come in a set.
Yeah.
And I was like, that's perfect. Everybody, this is the one lie I told. Make sure you keep it consistent. I talked to the hired hand that I had that was working on the boat and made sure that he fucking knew that story as well.
Mm-hmm.
So
when BJ came back, he said that's the only lie I told, and I go, cool. My character ain't it doesn't know shit about that. I don't know guns. That's his thing. Cool. That's the one lie he told. I get to say I don't fucking know. So when we went through, I did the thing. Oh, who shot? I'd be like, oh, well, who's gun, whatever. And then I was like, yeah, well, and so whenever we finally we were at Dr. Abernathy's, and that's when Carmen's character got knocked out. She's been all fucked ever since. It was a bad one. Calvin Little she's kind of been misremembering a lot of shit since. Mm-hmm. And since then I can kind of see.
I was worried when BJ stormed out though of Dr. Abernathy's secret lab.
But that also helped me in my interrogation, because I was like, he was doing some fucked up shit. Check his basement. And my character didn't know the basement had already been lit the fuck up.
Yeah. So, we get to us, and you're like, so if we check the basement, what we're going to find? And I was like, a lot of ashes, honestly. That was the one lie I told.
Sure.
Because I was like...
To be fair, you're all going to have to deal with, like, repercussions. The last session.
But, like...
I'm ready for it.
The one lie that my character told was, they're like, so it's burn... And I go, look, there was a scuffle... I didn't lie about the monster. We said Dr. Everything's fucking crazy, and shit got lit up. We fucking booked it. You will probably find like ashes and shit over there, but it was fucked. So yeah, that was super fun. That was probably some of the most creative shit I've at least done.
Very high energy for the whole.
Oh yeah,
interrogation.
When it happened, I was like, oh, we're doing this. You, Margaret, come with me right fucking now. And you're like, okay.
Dude, me...
I was talking a mile a minute when we were in the bathroom. I was like, all right, so here's what happened first, and here's what happened next.
The thing that got me...
Yeah, you did, honestly, some of the most talking, because I was just hyped, and then I was like... Because I was prepared to roleplay in the bath, like, in privately, to be like, Jack, like... taking notes and asking questions, which I did for the rest of everybody, but I was like, I'm just gonna let him talk and like
take notes,
and also just like screw himself, essentially. Like, I'm gonna like, or help yourself, but I was like, if he just wants to talk, like,
okay,
if he wants to like get caught in a web of lies,
well, I felt that was true to Margaret's character of being boisterous in that situation.
Sure, but I was just like, if you're just gonna chatter off about everything and I don't have to ask questions, like, Jack has this whole report of what you said, and now I get to get the other people to line up with this whole report.
But I think we did pretty fucking good overall.
You did.
So,
the fact that I was able to corroborate with Carmen on her.
I was also excited about when you did the job with Irene. I was like, I had the like options for like rewards. That was fun. Of like, I have 3 envelopes. You can either do like,
I like that we were all like, fuck the money, give us the information and then the flamethrower rental.
Well, again, so the given bonus for Irene was use of like private, of like, essentially it's all like contraband.
Yeah.
A contraband selection, which I illustrated to y'all, that it was like a private selection of equipment, and that was a given. But I was like, I'm prepared to like give you money or give you like X amount, like a more amount of money to just buy from her private collection, or money, information, or like extra money for a private like credit for her stuff.
Yeah.
And you just took information all 3 times.
She did give us the option to come and view that selection, and she gave me a line of credit that I can, if I go and look, I can try to like work out a deal there.
Sure, but yeah. line of credit, but you know that's something that's going to have to be paid.
Yeah, I mean, I'm willing to do another job as long as I have the equipment that I select for the job.
Sure.
I like that after like the Dr. Abernathy shit and even like some of the crazy shit, the group is now we probably shouldn't split up. It's now,
Yeah,
it's
because
now
we
like-
were Scooby doing that shit quite a lot.
Yeah, that was one thing that threw me for a fucking loop.
was
is-
all of us like spreading out immediately.
Yeah.
It was good that
Don't do that anymore.
me and
don't
Carmen-
do that to me because that'll save us so much time
Well-
and be able to get through a campaign.
Me and Carmen
So-
did pair up for a lot of it, which I felt was good.
Yeah.
Well, I guess in my character's purview, like when you're like, oh, we're going to the speakeasy, he wouldn't go.
Yeah.
Like
that
it
makes
was
sense.
things like that where I was like, what would the
The big another thing that I was like, oh shit, was when Dr. Abernathy didn't go on the boat even though he was there for the meeting, and I was like, this is gonna like be some red flags to the people.
Yeah.
But again, it worked out. That was like they were told 3 people were gonna show up, and 3 people did show up. So
Well, that's why I was like, it's perfect because, like, yeah, I wasn't there at the meeting, so they're only going to assume 3. But I showed up in front of the doctor's place, so
So,
it works.
And they weren't there to see who the
and
guy
in
was.
Dr. Abernathy's lab though, you got fucked up. Carmen got really fucked.
Well, no, we
Carmen
both,
got knocked unconscious.
Well, the thing is, both me and Carmen got half our health points out. She just rolled bad in the unconscious part. I just got a mortal
I
wound.
think this is dead.
Yep.
You want me to get a little portable charger?
I mean, I'll just go put it on charge.
Cool.
But no, the Dr. Abernathy's the lab was fucked and was super fun because like kind of now realizing what combat is like and how close.
So
you are
I
to
want
death.
this is something that I want to be able. So Burger, who runs the D&D campaign with some of the Discord guys, so that's Avery, Lee, Hunter, and used to be Casey, but Casey dropped out because he had another D&D group that he was in that were gonna start the same, because it's just Saltmarsh, which is a
Better move that big ass toenail out of my way.
bruh. Saltmarsh is like a pre-written like
world and lore and stuff.
book, and Casey was gonna run it with other people, and he's like, I'm not about to run the same campaign
Like twice, yeah.
twice. So he's like, I'm gonna hop out after this. But Burger, I don't even know what I was trying to say. Oh, Burger has his own server for
The Burger
Foundry, which is a D&D.
I think
thing.
Did you send me an invite for that? I think
I sent you a link for Dungeon League.
that's what it was. Yep.
Dungeon League is Lee's D&D server, so it has private rooms.
I joined it.
Good.
Yeah.
Good.
Yeah,
because
that's the
we're
one
gonna
you sent
be-
me, yeah.
We're going to be using that if we add somebody to our campaign, which I would be fine on Tuesdays, adding and getting a 4th person on Tuesdays to then run with us.
I'd be down.
It would probably be like from 8 to 10, 8 to 11, kind of campaigns.
For that, would we just run it where we're with you, or would we get in a Discord our own and go to a different room, or just we run it here?
You could
I
probably.
think the 3 of us, because I don't think Carmen's going to be very into doing shit only on Discord by herself. I think we just the 4 of us crowd around the table, and then we have Discord on your computer with a mic that we can all speak into.
So what I was thinking is having like your iPads and Carmen's laptop so you could see the shit, and then maybe like a headphones so that you could hear the other person on Discord, and then I would just be sitting at the computer, but you just can't look at my screens.
Well, if we have to go to another room,
Or just being here and then because I want you to be able to see, because I need Burger to teach me, because in Foundry you can just build maps. And that'd be fun, but then I'd have to fucking learn movement, and that bugs me.
I've been kind of...
Even though movement is actually...
I feel like you don't necessarily have, like, because that's my thing. That's been one thing that BJ said, is like, I have to learn like movement stuff and also, and I'm like, I mean, if you just want to kind of homebrew that out, just be like, okay, well, you go here.
Well, to be fair,
do this.
I just need to watch a YouTube podcast or YouTube campaign and see how they do it, because you already have movement built in, which is just based off of your stats.
Yeah.
And it's,
You have a specific stat for how far you can move.
yes.
My
I don't know if there's a dash stat Where you, instead of taking an action, you double your movement.
I mean, usually that's a pretty easy thing to homebrew into anything.
Just double your movement.
Because everything has a movement.
Yeah. So
stat.
it's already built in, so I just have to see how that plays out. Because in D&D, it's like everything's in fives. Because each tile is a 5. That's very standard.
Yeah, it's a 5x5 square foot.
Yeah.
thing.
So it's like, that's pretty standard, but it's like, in ours, it's like you can have a movement of 4 to 7 or like 4 to 9. That's like, it's like, how do you?
I actually recently had the idea of building maps, buying one of those like Lego plates, and just doing shit that way, and we can order. Well, I was specifically thinking of Cyberpunk when I did it, so I could build up cover that you can physically see, and then ordering like custom minifigures of your guys' characters.
That actually would be really cool.
Yeah, that'd be fun. I just want to be able to do the in-depth stuff more. But here's the other thing though, is once I start like learning all the in-depth rules and systems even more, it's just more.
It gets way
harder, like
crazier when you get deeper in.
It shit's more. What's not defeating?
Complicated.
Not. It's like it makes it harder on the players. Like,
yeah, it's demoralizing. Almost.
It's like it makes everything.
Well, I think that's why I've liked
not
Cyberpunk.
Taxing or like, what's the?
You just have to consider more.
Yeah, like everything's harder. Like for the player, like, oh fuck, like I only have this movement and the monster is clearly slower than me. It's like, well, based off of now clear stats, the monster's attacking you next round. Instead of me in my head going, you got 2 rounds. It's like, nope. The monster's attacking you right fucking now.
Yeah.
Like, nope, you're slow. It's fast.
I think that's why
Done.
I think that's why I fucked with Cyberpunks, and obviously it's because we were learning the rules as well. But when we were playing it, we were like, I mean, it says this, but I like how we've been doing it, so fuck it, we're gonna keep doing that way. And,
However,
doing it
though,
that way, where it's like,
it's a big thing. There's a whole chapter in my rule book on chases. So chases are integral, and it makes sense. You're dealing with
if you're running from monsters,
you're monster, and so there's a whole chapter on just chases and how those work, including automobiles, and like it tells you everything like that. So
I like. I mean, the system that I came up with for the car chase we did in Cyberpunk, I think was perfect for what we were doing.
for sure.
But for this, it needs to be more in depth.
Yeah, no, and so like I want to, but it's just going to be something that's like not. It's the opposite of rewarding, defeating. Not demoralizing.
Taxing.
Yeah, it's just going to be like harder for the player. It's just going to up the difficulty level because now it's like we have clear rules on who gets fucked, which, to be fair, is mostly going to be BJ. He has like a movement of 4.
Yeah, it's literally 4.
Yeah,
I forget what my movement is.
But
I think yours is like
that's why
8
I
or
put so
7.
many points into stealth,
yeah.
which helped me out a lot in a couple of situations.
I
That
do
didn't matter.
think after this interaction, there could be reasons for a little bit of a level up.
Spot hidden, baby.
I was gonna ask about that. So
I should have. I didn't know in my head, and we were just doing it like off of like, oh, make whatever fun thing you want to, and I should have been like, put points
in the spot hidden.
Put points in.
I mean, you could also for very important things, you could be like, oh, you know something about this. That's why you know that this is wrong. So make a check in this.
There's just so many things that I have hidden that I just am like the skill for finding things that are hidden is spot hidden.
Yeah.
So that's the problem with like
I started
clues.
I started the Call of Cthulhu game on PS4 last night,
Yeah.
and one of the first things is spot hidden, and I was like, I feel like I'm gonna have to bump that shit up. Like you.
Let me just pour all my points into that.
It's not as detailed stat wise as the game, obviously, because it's pen and paper versus video game, but it's spot hidden, investigation, a couple more, and then occult was one of the ones, and I went, I feel like spot hidden and occult I'm gonna need right the fuck now.
I have it on Switch. I need to start playing it.
It is kind of fun, or it's like it takes like 15
It
hours
does
to
a
beat.
fun. So I've seen playthroughs for the game. They do. It's really fun going through like dealing with sanity in that game where it like distorts your vision.
It actually will like fuck up your, because you might like you could. I watched a trailer. It looks like, oh, if your sanity's high, you can go through like a level like pretty well, but if your sanity's low, it like turns into like a weird fucked up insane asylum thing where you're like, oh shit, and so like it actually changes the game depending on your sanity level. And I was like,
it's definitely very reminiscent of what's Insomnia? No, what's the game? Amnesia.
That's a honestly shout out to Amnesia being like kind of like the
OG.
progenitor, of the horror.
Now that we're
indie scene
on the topic of games, I just have to bring in like two things up. While we were on the trip, late at night, when everyone was asleep, I was mostly up playing Xenoblade 2. I love that game. Now that I understand how to play it, I can play it well from the beginning to end.
Yeah.
Without having to worry about the shitty tutorials. So it's a much better experience now. I started from zero, and it's crazy that I started playing that a week ago, and now they just today announced Xenoblade X Definitive Edition. I've been waiting close to 10 fucking years for this now.
Yeah, well, the Switch is 7, 8 years old. Yeah, so pretty much when the Switch
they've
launched.
come out with two, technically 4 Xenoblade games in between then and now.
Definitive Edition.
Because of the expansions are just games themselves.
Well, the expansion for 2 is they haven't done that for Future Redeemed yet. There's no standalone.
I would consider that a full
So then
game.
5. Well, Xenoblade 1 Definitive, 2, Torna,
Definitive.
3,
The other
Future
thing
Redeemed.
we can cover briefly, but again, I mostly wanted this to be like a Lake House episode. I just saw that a higher up, at I think it was a publishing executive from Larian, tweeted. So you know how Ubisoft tweeted that people
You should be comfortable not owning games.
And then the Larian from Baldur's Gate publishing executive tweeted, then
They should be.
devs should be getting used to not having jobs.
Facts.
What a fucking comeback,
Dude,
though.
Larian owns Twitter.
I need to point out. So he didn't say devs. He said publishers, because that's the thing. Everybody in any of these are like, the devs are not the one at fault. It's the fucking people making the decisions.
So he said publishers.
Yeah, so
should not...
he said the CEO should be comfortable not having jobs, type shit or whatever. So pretty much, because it's true. Because look,
I thought it was though.
I mean, if he said devs, then it's him saying it's because in the general thing is devs are going to be the ones that are shot first. Look at every single position where hey, this game didn't do so hot. Well, clearly the CEO is not going to take a pay cut, so he's laying off the entire.
Yeah, he's laying off everyone from Toys for Bob, and they just have to make Call of Duty now.
Yeah, so it's things like that.
Speaking of playing Blackout 6,
a bunch of friends at Mo's are playing it.
To be fair, I feel like I'm good at FPSs. So I'd say on a lot of matches I'm doing pretty well. It still feels like I'm struggling throughout because it just is.
What you told me about zombies makes me sad.
So I played with Ezra last night. It was my first actual. So not from what I've seen, it was playing. It's not as. It's a little bit more closed off, like a traditional zombies like Black Ops 3 or Black Ops 4 map, where it's closed off until you open areas. It's still like you're in the middle of a fucking city, and it still feels reminiscent of Call of Duty zombies, which was Warzone zombies. It literally feels very reminiscent, even though you do have closed off sections that you have to open gates, but the gates are, it's not like in
so walk into
it's
this
not
building.
like in old zombies where you would have a gate, a literal gate or debris in the way, and you'd buy your way out of it. They literally have laser fields, like 3 lines of lasers to open a gate.
That ruins the immersion.
It does because last time it's oh, you want to get through this door, not a big open area.
I mean,
not like a street, because literally in this it's oh, you want to get through this street, you have to pay, and it's 3 lasers.
To be
Imagine
fair,
playing Left 4 Dead and coming across a laser field.
To be fair to that zombies hasn't been immersive like that since 1 and 2, because 3
1 and 2 what?
Black Ops. Because Black Ops 3 had Kevin
Black
James.
Ops 4 is Call of Cthulhu Black Ops.
That's what I'm saying, but
which was, people still think,
well, no, Black Ops 4
is one of the best.
Because Black Ops 4 was a battle royale game with also a zombies mode, and then Black Ops 3 had
Is that the one that's the Call of Cthulhu one where it's in the 1920s characters?
Those are Black Ops 1 and 2. Black Ops 3, you could buy Kevin James and run the jewels into the campaign.
Run the Jewels was also in
Gears
Gears
5.
of War.
Yeah. No, yeah, the first two were like, well, the first Black Ops was like President fucking JFK and shit. I think 2 was the one where they went, because 3, even with the Call of Cthulhu ones, they still added in like you could go to like a Spartan arena and do a zombies mode. You could do this, like they were just adding in a bunch of shit just to make new zombies modes.
Okay, this is Black Ops 3.
Okay, because three
was the 1920s era.
3 had multiple. You could there because there was an amusement park one. There was the 1920s era, and they had multiple.
But the initial one was the 1920s, which is extremely good.
Mm-hmm. I'm not saying it's not, but like
but after that they fucking sucked.
Pretty much. I mean, 3 is still considered one of the best ones, even without the 1920s. Because like I was talking to people like who I work with, and they were straight up saying like, yeah, Black Ops 3 and all their maps are way better than anything they've done since.
So like, yeah,
which
Black
they've done
Ops
zombies
3,
in all of them.
It added new things like gobblegums,
Mm-hmm.
which is just random thing, random power ups that you can get, but it still had the traditional map feel of stuff, where it was multi-level.
Yeah.
Like you can go into buildings, go up, unlock secret area. Like it felt good then. And then we get to this like shit where it's wide open. It just, yeah.
Cold War Zombies was cool to start, but then like because it's everything you're saying.
Yeah, they had the one that was that like Greek Roman arena
that's
one.
4. That's not Cold War. The Cold War was a traditional zombies mode. It just went on too long.
Oh, you're right.
Because Cold War was
that
exactly
wasn't traditional.
Yeah.
That wasn't that.
It just
that
went
came
on.
Back, that was
Yeah.
like World of War. They tried
Pretty
to
much,
get
because
the World of War.
and because it just went on for too long. Because then
Dude, I miss fucking World of War zombies. Sorry,
no, you're good. Cold War's thing was the thing that to me went on for too long is you had to go into an alternate dimension to then grab a thing, bring back, and then come back, and that's where I'm like, this is going on for way too long to be fun anymore. Because now it's like, I don't know, like, because we did it, we beat it, we didn't do all the Easter eggs, but we beat it or whatever the fuck. And after a while, we're like,
got the end.
Yeah, we were like, that wasn't that fun. Because like after like it starts off super fun, you're like, oh fuck, there's zombie, oh shit, do the thing.
This one
and then
didn't feel
yeah.
very, very fun. I'm pretty sure that Ezra. I played last night with Ezra and Watson. It was okay. Ezra got on the very first pull from the mystery box, the wonder weapon. And I was like, that's awesome, but also like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
Like, and then we immediately got Pack-a-Punch, which shouldn't be that easy to get that early. Like round 6, we got Pack-a-Punch, which for casual players should not be. No, because you should have viable weapons up until like level like 20, and then unlock the Pack-a-Punch area to then, because by level 20 you're like, oh, this fucking gun sucks. But what they do is this thing when you get like pick up guns, they have like the Borderlands color rating, where it's like the different colors is the better gun.
Yeah.
So it's like I pull from the wall a blue gun, which is better than green. Green is the standard, but then I pull a blue gun and it's like, oh, this is technically better, and it has some attachments, and then I like, but then I go to the mystery box and I get like a purple gun, and it's like a big LMG, and I'm like, this is a sick gun. And I have a huge mag, but to be fair, it's also not viable until like in level 5. I'm still like 5-shotting zombies in level like 9, which is insane.
Yeah,
and so it's like I have to go to Pack-a-Punch early, but Pack-a-Punch, the whole thing of Pack-a-Punch is you're like in level 30 Pack-a-Punching guns to make them into like, one-shot weapons. Now you have like, traditionally you have 2 levels of Pack-a-Punch. This one you have like 3 levels of Pack-a-Punch.
The thing that
and you have
sounds
all
like
the weapons in Black Ops, which is you can Pack-a-Punch any fucking gun. Back then it's like you were only trying to Pack-a-Punch like wonder weapons, like or like you were trying to Pack-a-Punch a wonder weapon and then a secondary. So
have you played the Mercenaries mode in Resident Evil Village?
Nope.
I think
I've only played Biohazard 4 VR.
You haven't played Village?
I have not played Village.
It's the sequel to Biohazard.
I've watched a great playthrough from Scary Game Squad from Jesse Cox of Village. I know the entire plot of Village.
Well, no, the Mercenaries multiplayer mode.
Oh,
That's what
I
he's
didn't know
saying.
that.
Yeah.
Well, it's not multiplayer.
Well-
it's a horde mode kind of thing, but you have specific weapons. They start you off with a specific amount of money,
Okay.
and in between rounds, you talk to the merchant, and you have to really
Big
suss
fatties.
out.
Big fatty.
Yeah, big thickums, and you have to be like, okay, I have this pistol. Do I just want to upgrade it, or do I want to get the specifically better pistol and try to upgrade it a little bit to try to get back to this point to get more damage, kind of thing. You have to do that for like 3 different guns, and it sounds like what you're looking for.
Yeah.
Sure. Yeah, I played Biohazard. I played 4 VR.
Did you play any of the remakes, like 2 or 3?
The
Nope.
4 remake is
Nope.
perfect.
So
I'd say
I
two
honestly,
and
I can
4
borrow
is-
it from your
yeah.
Steam library.
Yeah, do it.
Yeah, okay. There's
2
that.
and 4 are probably the best ones they've done in recent years.
Three is very good.
And then the other one I've played is the one that we are like 3/4 of the way
So
through.
oh
you
yeah,
mean-
Revelation
you mean-
2.
Revelation
one.
2. Let's just fucking finish it one of these. Now that we're back, now that we're sad about not being at the lake house.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna put an end cap on the lake house conversation.
It was fucking great.
It was so good.
Every like
There really wasn't a bad moment, other than the fact that, like,
We
a
had to
couple
leave.
nights we were like, "Fuck, where's the cereal?"
Yeah.
Other than that, none of us got really sunburned. We all had a good fucking time. We ate well. And
shout
then-
out to me and BJ being the only two to stay up every night and finish a movie if we finished it
Hold on.
every night.
Hold on.
At least
No.
I did every night. I didn't fall asleep in a movie.
Hold on. I fell asleep one night
Because you were puking.
because I was puking.
So Ezra is the one that we need to shame.
Well, no,
True.
he stayed up one night and it was the one that he didn't. They switched off one night.
Yeah.
So Matt fell asleep and Ezra stayed awake.
And that was for Silence of the Lambs, which I am pretty sad about because I love that movie.
I love that movie.
That
so
movie
much.
was so fucking good.
So fucking good.
I'm glad you would. Just a side tangent. Matt had never seen the last half of Silence of the Lambs before we watched it that first time
That's
together.
true. I was like, I know the beginning of this movie.
He was like, "Yeah, it's all right," and I was like, "How could you say that?" And then he gets to the part where they transport Hannibal to Tennessee.
That's the part that I was like, oh, this is getting crazy.
He was like, "This is peak."
I remember, dude. That was a while ago. That was maybe
That
like
was like a year and a half
That's
ago.
what I
or
was gonna say.
something.
That was like right when you kind of moved in and we started having those conversations, like talking about like you should watch this movie, and then BJ would be like, you should watch this movie.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, we. To be fair, we didn't really play any video games together, which
played
I'm
Smash.
actually okay with.
We played Smash one night and then we played Boomerang.
The first
Fu,
night.
Boomerang Fu was really fun.
Yeah.
Boomerang Food was fun.
Especially the hide and seek.
Yeah.
Great game mode.
That was a really
Yeah.
good game mode.
Really fun game mode. I mean, it's like obviously it's like next trip it's like let's just go for a week and a half. You know, it's like let's just go for let's do
Yeah, let's
fuck
just
it
increase it to a month.
2 week. You know,
Yeah,
and
we're
it's
all
like,
gone for a month.
I
bro.
like
It's
clearly like I know Mike would be like, yeah, do whatever, take whatever. Like he told me anytime you want to come up, and it's true. Like him and my dad were close. My dad like would go up there by himself often just to go fish and be by himself.
That's dope.
And so it's like, but I've only been there like 5 times in my life.
I wasn't expecting that.
Yeah, it was only like 5 times I've only been up there because
What was that other place you went that was like more in like the snowy parts? Like there was one year because you Snapchatted us while you're in a hot tub while snowing outside. Where was that?
Zion. You guys
Zion,
should come to
yeah.
Zion for Thanksgiving.
Okay.
Okay.
If you use your discount from your hotel, you definitely could.
Yeah. I mean, are we gonna freeboard or?
Freeboarding is a non-negotiable.
Of course, it's Zion.
Yeah,
That's the
of
only
course.
thing you do.
No, but that's it.
Okay, that was the other
Thanksgiving. What's really fun about that is
I would really love to go and make
No,
a sequel to that video.
I would be fine with that. Zion though is fucking beautiful, and the hotel we stay in, and it doesn't matter any hotel you stay in. But what's great about ours is it has a hot tub, which I'm sure the other ones have hot tubs. There's
Yo,
tons of.
Is it a Marriott?
There's Marriott's there for sure. I think we stay at a Hyatt.
Oh yeah.
A Hyatt. And
Big. I mean,
but like the picture I sent you though is
I'm gonna
all
need
of
time
these
to thrift some
during
really gay
like
clothes.
during sunset. the already red sun from a sunset is shining on these orange Utah mountains, and it's this like neon orange and red.
Honest heart shit.
And you're like, it's this colors that you'll like. I mean, every year it blows me away. And you're just sitting in this hot tub. And you're like, whoa, what the fuck is this? And then you wake up in the morning, and it's during sunrise, and it's cold outside. I mean, it's like 42 outside, and it's cold. And then you get into the park and you start hiking, and you start to warm up. So you take off your jacket, and then the sun hits you, and you're like, oh, this is. And then it gets like 70 when the sun hits you. Zion's great. I've been wanting friends of mine because, again, like the whole thing now is like the adults are getting older. Now we have these cousins that are coming, and it's like now it's like we're getting not a full transitional period. Like everyone's parents are still alive, but like it's this time where it's like,
which family member do you think it's going to take to die to separate all of this?
Well, here's the other thing: is my mom again? This was Zion was started from my family, where my dad got the diagnosis of multiple sclerosis, and he didn't want to go to the normal Thanksgiving dinner at. Again, this is also not my biological grandma's. This is my mom's best friend since high school's grandma. You want to hear another fucking story? Is when in 2016 she died. Martha Roberts died.
I remember stories about Mamar.
Martha Roberts died, and Martha Roberts also during Christmas we would go up to her house, and Thanksgiving before Zion we would go up to her house, and we'd do thing. And then for Christmas, Mamar would like the Roberts family photo, which the Lidikins could not be a part of. And then, because that was their like photo that they sent out to the church family, they sent out to like a postcard, you know. And then for our sake, they were like, okay, then now we're gonna get the photo with the Lidikins. And for years, I had to deal with, now the Lidikins gonna go in the photo. Now the Lidikins go. And then when she died, I would go, now the Lidikins are gonna be in the first fucking photo. Seriously. That was like one of my first things, and everyone else thought it was fucking messed up, but they weren't gonna fight Mamar on it because they knew that Mamar was gonna send out the picture to all our church friends of the first photo of just the biological family, even though every year after it's always been the photo with us in it because we have been to Christmas there for over 20 years.
Speaking of Christmas,
no, more than that, like 25 years. We have gone to Christmas morning there. It's like, it's so insane. My mom, again, this is my mom's like extended family. My aunt and uncle are not my biological aunt and uncle, but I call them my biologicals.
I mean, there are people that just become family.
Yeah.
Like,
so, anyways,
you'll never be separated.
So finally,
before we move on, I just want to say, speaking of the Lidikin name and everything, shout out to our biggest fan, Molly Lidikin.
Molly,
we saw a video recently listening to our podcast where you doing some work.
Apparently, every time we curse, Molly goes, "Don't curse."
Sorry for all the cursing, Molly.
Yeah, sorry for all the cursing, Molly. And
so
Nancy.
fucking sorry.
And but the Zion. So my dad got diagnosed with MS. He didn't want to go to Thanksgiving.
I didn't know that he had MS.
Yeah, he did. Yeah, he had it.
That's what Joey's dad has.
Yeah, it fucking sucked because my dad, he hiked the Appalachian Trail like right out of high school, was a climber. We had a climbing wall.
He was all about that shit.
And then his legs gave out. It was so sad. And so he got diagnosed. He was so depressed. And my mom, who was like, we would go to Yosemite every year. My mom was like, all right, what's one national park we haven't gone to that's like somewhere close? And my mom like booked this whole trip. So she like learned. So Zion National Park is on the edge of a town called Springdale, literally connected. Like it's Zion, and then you drive.
And then you drive over the border
10 feet, and you're already in. You have a subway. You have a bunch of hotels. It's like you have a bunch of gift shops,
and then it's just forest.
And then it's Springdale. It's literally not even a distance. It's not even a drive. It's Zion. The parking lot for Zion is shared with the movie theater for Springdale. Like. Again,
that's kind of dope. That's some horror bait.
It is. So it's like, again, but the town is Springdale next to that. So then she books a hotel in Springdale, and my dad is depressed, not doing it. He's like, oh, I don't want to do anything. I don't want to go to Thanksgiving. And she's like, we're gonna go take a vacation.
Are you sure it wasn't because he saw you during Incredibles?
What the fuck?
When you guys went to see the Incredibles, you sure that's what wasn't depressed your dad?
What?
When you saw Elastigirl and you had to adjust your boner?
Yeah, no, that's true. Yeah,
Jodie Foster's voice coming out of the thickest mom
that's
Pixar
probably
mom.
She's like, Dr. Lecter.
Dr. Lecter.
And yeah, and then we went up and we fell in love with it, and so like we went up again like by ourselves the next year, and the year after that we told my aunt and uncle, who my parents are like close with, Jay and Julie, and we're like, hey, you should come up, and they're like, yeah, we're sick of our family and Mamar, and so then they went up, and then
Found family Thanksgiving, baby.
so then slowly more and more people left the Thanksgiving with Mamar to come to do the Zion trip, and then finally it was like we had 2 years of Mamar coming to the Zion trip because finally everyone did that, and now it's just like massive. And so I talked to my mom and I was like, maybe we just do the same thing, but maybe we find a new national park to
I
do
will
Thanksgiving.
say my mom's side of the family fucking sucks, so I'm down to go whenever.
Yeah, no, so Zion's dope. So but that's that photo. I mean, we're already at hour 45. Let's just.
I gotta talk one thing, and that's me and BJ have both finished Sonic X Shadow Generations.
Yeah, no,
The shadow portion of it.
Yeah, specifically the shadow portion. The reason you bought the game probably.
Yeah.
So
because I had Generations on my Steam Deck. I had to delete it to make some more room.
So yeah, that shit made me cry.
Yeah.
Yeah, you
teared
told
up.
me
Yeah.
about the
fucking
shit with
sad.
Maria. I'd be like,
Legitimately sad as fuck, but also
The Batman comic they drew was accurate to what happened in that.
like no, it's literally him grasping them, being like, no, don't go.
While they fade away.
Yeah, I was like, oh shit.
It's fucked up.
It was-
and then
he
Rouge was like, I'm gonna go help Sonic, and he's like, you fucking go ahead, he's got this. And then he runs ahead of her, and she like feels a little bit of moisture hit her cheek, and you notice that Shadow is crying too. And it's
Yeah.
like, oh my god, dude.
bruh.
Dude, you actually see Shadow smile too, like unabashedly, because he's talking to Maria.
It's basically the Metal Gear Rising of the Sonic franchise.
Of like the solo side campaign.
Yeah, like the secondary main character gets his own campaign,
Yeah.
and it's way more badass than the main series kind of thing.
yeah, I feel that. Okay. Cool.
It was so cool. The fucking the only thing that I was like iffy on was the Chaos Island stage being there, because I'm like, that has nothing to do with Shadow, except just Sega was like, I don't know, fuck it, we got the assets for
I'm
that.
fine with Chaos Island. I hate that they put in fucking Rail Canyon. Fuck Rail Canyon. All
Hey.
my homies know Rail Canyon sucks dick.
Hey, Rail Canyon sucks dick, but finally it's playable.
It is playable, but barely.
Yeah, but yeah, the fact also that they did Sunset Heights by making, don't worry, we can make Forces better.
Yeah.
And I was like, damn, that's crazy.
The best thing was fucking Kingdom Valley or Lost Valley.
Yeah.
From Sonic 06.
Literally the best level in the whole game.
Just sanction Project 06, bring them on, put out a full release.
What about the Fujiwara Hills, the Fujiwara Zone?
Fujiwara. Oh yeah, we watched some Initial D Stage 5,
And one of the episodes was called Fujiwara Zone, and I was like,
and then
that's-
just talk about what the Fujiwara Zone is.
yeah, which is just bullshit. But
The best part of that episode didn't have anything to do with the episode.
no,
But while Ryosuke and the homie are talking about the Fujiwara Zone, Matt was trying to explain to me who that guy was. He was like, that's the guy that's trying to be Ryosuke. And I was like, what the fuck are you talking about? He was like, that guy from the other team that like wants to be able to plan shit out. I was like, no, dude, that is Ryosuke.
I was like, oh, I forgot what that Ryosuke character design is so bad.
Because they change it every fucking season now.
Yeah. Anyways, thank you for listening to the SideQuest podcast. We love you. All that we've gotten a couple new subscribers,
Thank you.
and we've been posting on TikTok a lot.
My TikTok's been going pretty crazy.
TikTok has been going crazy. Yeah, we need. Honestly, it's all. We just need to say stuff that triggers people.
Say some controversial shit.
Yeah, that's true. And
I almost said it.
And as always.
Take it, Sleazy.